Good afternoon to you once again. Last time, according to our session, we are looking at different methodologies according to the Greeks, the approaches that they had to introduce in order to develop geography as a discipline. And this time round, we are going to be picking from the nature and the scope of physical geography. When we look at the physical geography, it has what we call the nature of physical geography. In our coverage, we are going to be looking at uh, geography being a discipline which brings about a perfect combination of physical and human geography as a common planet or a common platform for the study. When we look at geography or the understanding of geography, it is an essential subject or a discipline, but when you look at it before we handle the aspect of physical geography, or before we look at the nature, there are some approaches that we have to assert. The first one is the systematic key approach. This systematic approach for it looks at the complete study of the specific natural and human phenomena in all detailed and regional geography in a complete study of regions taking into account of all systematic processes. When we move on, we are going to be seeing also another form of geography. That is what we call human geography. This deals in a complete study of a region taking place into an account. The other one, schematic, it is concerned with a complete study of certain features in terms of natural and human phenomena. Uh, that is the approach that was used. So when you look at geography as a discipline, according to the different approaches, we have said that it is an essential to be knowing about the schematic and also talk about what we have termed as regional geography. So here we are looking at what we call the ocean geography. Then also we look at what we call chemistry. We also look at meteorology and also look at the physics, talk about geology, and also talk about geophysics and zoology plus what we call botany. So all those branches are referring to different categories of things. When you look at zoology and botany, those are the animals and plants. And when you move on to chemistry, it deals with the science of all the idea of applying chemicals in order to come up with a solution or an element. And when you look at meteorology, specifically deals with weather and things related to climate. When it comes to physics, it deals with the aspects of knowledge in terms of developing new ideas in terms of electronic. When you look at zoology, ocean geography, basically those are the seas and oceans. So that is geography we are going to be looking at. When we move on, we are talking about the major branches of geography that can be classified according to different categories. We have the first one known as geomorphology. When you look at geomorphology, it is a science that deals with the study of landforms and also genetic and lithosphere or landforms that may be formed around water bodies or lakes and seas. He is saying that it is a highly schematic and organized description of different types of landforms as a result of the Earth's surface. So that is what we call geomorphology in brief terms. So when you look at geomorphology, it deals with the study, or it studies two vast and different views that are being expressed by different people or different scholars with the regard of their different definitions and also the scope of the subject. So that is geomorphology. So when you look at geomorphology, there are other various processes that are accounted for these developments. So the first thing that we are talking about is we are also talking about other things that can be brought about by geomorphology. And below there I have some of the chorus according to what they assert in terms of evolution of the natural landscape. They talk about according to the SPARCS, they are talking about the geomorphology is essentially the study of the evolution of landforms, especially landforms produced by erosion. They are saying that the origin of the major features on the Earth's surface or Earth's crust is usually not considered to be within the spheres of geomorphology. So, when you look at geomorphology as a case study or as our first chapter according to SPARCS, for him he was referring to it as the study of evolution of landforms, especially landform produced by erosion. So any landform that may be produced by result of erosion, according to SPARC, he referred to them as not being considered to be among the sphere of geology. So when you go on, we are seeing other people. For instance, Walcott, for him, claims that geomorphology is an intercept description of relief features of the earth. In other words, for him, he refers that geomorphology is a science that deals with the surface of the lithosphere, explaining the origin and the interact in terms of its history. When we talk about lithosphere, we are referring to what we call the internal structure of the earth and how it has come into evolution, and also we look at how the lithosphere interacts with it or interprets its history. That is according to Okata. Then there is also another person there known as Kati. For him, who was describing geomorphology and say that for him it was an analysis or an origin in terms of evolution of science, evolution of Earth's features. Therefore, for him, he said that it is not massively, or merely the physical or chemical and biological process that affect the evolution of landform, but also the structure of the Earth's crust in terms of the geological processes, as well as the climatic influence, because it is the climatic influence that he asserts that we are responsible to determine the given landform according to his assumptions and his views. When you go on, we are seeing now another part there which is going to be looking into the definition given by the different scholars, where we are going to be making or marking that geomorphology involves a comprehensive and the understanding of different structures of process and stages to all stages, as well as the types of relief. So from here, we are going to be looking at the types of relief features in terms of structures, where we shall be talking about structures, we talk about processes, we talk about the stages, and in the stages we are going to be able to see the different landforms that may be resulting according to different geographers, where we shall be talking about Davis, W.M. Davis, then also talk about another people, and also we shall be able to look at the cycle of erosion, or what you can call the Downey's theory. We shall also talk about it there. When we proceed, we shall look at the relief of the first order. When we go back and look at the structure, they are saying that the structure is concerned with not only with the features like rocks, like rock features, but it also looks at folds, talk about faulting, we talk about with those few words, I beg we start from there next time.